We all face disrespect at some point in our lives, whether it's a snide comment, subtle exclusion, or unfair treatment that leaves us feeling devalued. But the good news is, as Stoic philosophers realized, how we respond is completely within our control. In this video series, I want to share 13 Stoic lessons on how to handle disrespect with courage, wisdom, and level-headed compassion, as we'll explore in depth the core ideas passed down from ancient Stoics, provide incredibly relevant and practical tactics any of us can use. When we encounter disrespectful behavior today, we'll cover essential mindsets like regulating your emotion, separating observations from judgments, and considering context. You'll gain crucial conflict management skills for standing firm with calmness rather than escalating tensions further. Importantly, you'll also cultivate self-compassion to minimize ego injury when faced with insults or unfairness. With consistency and practice, these Stoic principles will help you handle any disrespect with rational dignity while limiting reactive anger. You gain incredible resilience and emotional control in situations where others attempt to disempower you, and that personal poise lets insults roll off your back as you hold firm in your own principles and truth. I believe integrating just a few of the key Stoic tactics we'll cover can profoundly change how you navigate and respond to disrespect moving forward. If you're ready to handle difficult people and situations with practical wisdom and level-headed flexibility, this video series is for you. Let's dive in and explore the first powerful Stoic lesson for addressing disrespect. The first Stoic tactic that helps in scenarios of disrespect is distinguishing what we can control from what we can't. We can't dictate others' manners, values, or fairness. What we can control is how we perceive situations and choose to respond. I discuss why attaching our ego to others' poor behavior is counterproductive. Instead, we must ground our self-worth internally. Their actions say more about their state than our worth. Externals can't degrade our character if we don't let them. Another essential Stoic skill is maintaining rational perspective, divorced from knee-jerk emotional reactions. When faced with disrespect, we understandably feel angry, humiliated, or indignant. But these limit objective assessment of the actual misconduct, our role, and proportional response. In this lesson, I explain techniques to acknowledge, then look past emotional reactions in order to gain a reasoned, realistic view of what occurred. This helps identify wise next steps. Here we explore the Stoic notion that disrespect reveals flaws in the offender, not the victim. Those lacking discernment act inconsiderately from ignorance or inner issues rather than anything about us earning maltreatment. As Stoics recognized, we all have blind spots and room for growth in judgment or awareness. With this mindset, we gain emotional protection during unfair incidents, preventing ego injury or demoralization based on others' limited perception. When disrespected, our instincts often urge us to retaliate, to give tit for tat with equally caustic responses. But as Stoics emphasized, retaliation tends to escalate tensions rather than resolve anything. In this chapter, I'll share techniques for maintaining calm when every fibre of you wants to snap back. We'll talk about taking a pause, controlling the impulse to react, and retaining dignity rather than losing your cool. I'll also discuss smarter communication tactics focused on de-escalation. Often when treated poorly, we have underlying assumptions or expectations that get violated, and this causes additional pain. For instance, believing respect is a right, not a privilege. In this chapter, we critique possible overly rigid perspectives around being treated properly, respected by all. I encourage examining these judiciously and adjusting beliefs to be more reasonable yet strong for increased resilience day to day. We talk about focusing on respecting yourself rather than demanding it from others. A well-known Stoic exercise is to view opponents as ignorant and worthy of sympathy rather than venom. Those who stoop to disrespect rarely behave admirably. As Marcus Aurelius said, when people injure you, ask yourself what good or harm they thought would come of it. Instead of demonizing them, see the inner turmoil causing lashing out. Wish them wisdom. This long view protects you from poisoning yourself with resentment while retaining moral high ground. The Stoics warn against letting others' poor conduct turn our attention and efforts off course from what matters. When facing disrespect, we might obsess over the incident or the person. As Epictetus said, man is disturbed not by events, but by his opinion about them. In this lesson, we recenter on aligning actions with values, preventing temporary frustration from controlling our direction. I'll share techniques to channel energy into purposeful goals instead of retaliation plots. Rather than viewing disrespect only through a lens of victimhood, Stoics frame it as a test of our own virtuosity. How well can we demonstrate grace under fire? By enduring indignities with courage and principle intact, we strengthen those muscles for when it really counts while gaining confidence in our character. It also becomes easier to respect those behaving poorly if we've endured disrespect without compromising dignity or values. Stoics were shrewd verbal combatants, using questions and logic to dismantle faulty thinking. I'll equip you with verbal tactics and rhetorical principles to employ when facing insults, unfair criticism, or other disrespect. You'll learn firm yet controlled verbal defense skills focused on light rather than heat, reducing irrational attacks without needing to retaliate in kind. We want to represent virtues, not add to the vitriol. Despite skills for diffusing and enduring disrespect, Stoics knew when continuing an interaction becomes counterproductive or even dangerous. As Zeno said, the goal of life is living in agreement with nature. In this video, we discuss protecting your peace of mind by disengaging from pointless conflicts where wisdom is unavailable. It takes discernment, not weakness, to know when to walk away rather than attempting to reason with the unreasonable. While we can build great resilience to occasional disrespect, Stoics caution against remaining enmeshed with those who regularly degrade or mistreat you. As Musonius Rufus said, associate with those who will make you a better person. Wise individuals uplift our humanity. In this lesson, we discuss reducing time with toxic personalities who drag you down while seeking out relationships, bringing mutual honor and consideration. Good company reinforces our value. This lesson addresses lingering resentment, that desire to get even, which can subtly persist even after an incident passes. Stoics viewed anger as a signal more learning is needed to fully comprehend a situation or person's flaws. I share tips to shift resentment into deeper empathy while still accounting for wrongdoing. Amor fati, love your fate, using every experience to expand your comprehension and humanity. The goal is responding with wisdom rather than just reaction. As we reach the end of this lesson series, I sincerely hope you feel empowered by this small sample of Stoic wisdom applied to navigating disrespect. While their insights stretch back thousands of years, the strategies and principles hold uncanny relevance for skillfully facing incivility today. By learning to control our perceptions, regulate reactions, defend with virtuosity, and focus inward on growth, we render external disrespect far less threatening to our serenity and purpose. Developing these mental muscles takes work, but with practice can make you virtually insult and frustration-proof over the long run. I encourage you to review any lessons resonating most and begin consciously applying Stoic tactics the next time you face troublesome behaviors. Don't expect perfection right away. It takes time to override emotional habit, energy, and reframe challenges as opportunities, but stay persistent. Lastly, I'd love to hear your biggest takeaways from these 13 Stoic lessons on handling disrespect. What impacted you most? Are there any future topics you'd like me to cover through a Stoic lens? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video series helpful for becoming more unflappable in difficult situations, don't forget to like and share with others whom you think may benefit.